right, we are riding. Oh, this guy went through red light. JHM 4208. Holy shit. An ambo. Hey, look, lights. Oh man, lights. That's so pleasant. I wish it was a street and like some other things go along with this. Wow, this is so incredibly unsafe. Look at this giant truck turning off here. They are, look like they're doing something here, so that's nice. Maybe they will put down a protected bike lane here on 10th Avenue. Oh, maybe they are. 10th Avenue has a protected bike lane, but I think it's further up, maybe? Wow, so he's doing this with a scooter. This is kind of like crazy hard to navigate with a scooter. I'm curious to see how he does it. Nothing like riding through the gutter, the bike gutter. Please don't go. Please don't hit me. Thank you. Thank you so much. Right. Could use a little bit of light here, so you can see all of the crap in the road that'll knock your wheel out. All right, well that was fun. Whew, a little chilly. A little chilly out here. Everybody moving. All these idiots are all moving. They don't have they have a red light. Let's see if 8 AJEN6 Connecticut. Not paying attention. Not really looking. We are off. All right. Let's see. What do I want to talk about today? Oh yeah. I think a good topic is, hey doggy. Yeah, fun topic is like when people are like, oh, but what do you when you're like, well, you should bike to work, bike to school, whatever, bike home. And people are like, oh yeah, but what are you gonna do when it's like 20 degrees and like 18 inches of snow on the ground? What are you gonna do then, huh? And I like think this is hilarious because there's so many reasons why that's such a dumb argument. One is simply it's not 30 degrees or snowing on the ground. Like right now. So why not bike then? That's like argument number one is when you can, you should. Like when you can walk outside, you probably should. When you can bike, you probably should. That'll give you a good opportunity to. Recognizing that some days are not great bike weather days. Like when it's pouring rain. Or if it's too cold, or whatever. So that's number one. If everybody only biked and only did it on only the best days, like 60 degrees and up, and not snowing or raining, you'd still be biking like 60 or 65% of the year in New York City, right? So like, let's get that out of the way. It does not rain that many days. It doesn't rain. It rains far more in Amsterdam or in the Netherlands. Totally different weather patterns. Like 100 more days out of the year. I think that's what the number is. Something like that. So that's number one. Number two, you don't build a transportation system out of the most extreme possible scenario. Like, oh, well, what are you going to do on, Memorial Day when there's a billion people trying to leave? Well, I guess we should have highways and stuff that are like 18-lane highways all throughout New York City because, there's going to be some traffic. Also, stupid argument. You don't build for the most extreme scenario like that. That's how we got into this problem in the first place. Because cars are so space inefficient, particularly in cities where space is constrained. Let's see, number three. There we go. Let's see. Everybody should drive through the red light because, fuck the pedestrians who are in the crosswalk because an ambulance needs to get through. Again, failure of traffic management and cars and stuff. What was the third thing I was going to say? I forgot. I think that was it. Those are my two big arguments. Yeah, the argument for oh yeah, then it's like, oh well, 1% of New Yorkers use bikes, as their mode of transportation, and like, sure, it's true. Have you seen the streets? They are awful. Like, they are not inviting for anybody. They are pretty terrible, and 30 people died this year. 30 cyclists died this year. Were killed, sorry, not died. I mean, they did die, but they were killed by drivers. Let's make that really clear. They didn't die because they, fell over their handlebars. They didn't die because they, were riding a bike and then had a heart attack and, hit a wall. They died because a truck or a car driver hit them. That's why. All right. So it is evening here. It's like, what time is it? It's like 5:30, I think, or 6 p.m. It is 55 degrees, I want to say. And like, and it's like great biking weather. Like, this is perfect. That's kind of why I'm biking right now. I was pretty tired. I didn't really want to ride home, just because I'm like a little tired and just wanted to relax a little bit. But then part of me is like, you only have so many like nice days per year. I mean, in New York you actually have quite a few, but it's kind of like, well, you might as well take advantage of every nice day, every nice night. It's 55 degrees. I think it's about to go down to the 20s this week here in New York City. And you know, so I'm probably not going to be riding at all on those days. I'm going to be honest, right? And so I should take advantage of days that are nice, like tonight, where I know that I'm going to have a pretty chill ride. It is dark, but it's not too cold. I'm wearing a sweater here. I do have my coat, but I didn't even put it on. Yeah. Here's the highway here. It's an awful highway. I hope it gets destroyed in my lifetime and converted into, you know, a real waterfront area that has far more space for like businesses and all kinds of stuff, you know, without having a goddamn highway that I have to cross and breathe the fumes in and all that. Just taking it easy here. Let's ride. What else? What was I thinking about? Yeah, like if everybody who drove, so you can model this, if everybody who drove, I think I saw the statistic that like, it's two different statistics, I think, that something like a third of all car trips are under like 6 miles, I think, and then something like, I forget what it is, and it's like some, you know, 50% are under 4 miles or something like that. And I was looking for like, well, how many are like 3 miles or less, or like only 2 miles? I think it was like 50% are like 3 miles or less. Like, that's insane. Can you imagine half of all your trips? That's not miles. It's not miles, that's true. You'd still have a huge amount of carbon emissions from cars, but like you could cut it probably by a third, right? VMTs and carbon just from like 2 miles is so ridiculously short on a bike. And like, imagine if you thought of your bike as like there's so many different bikes now, right? It's not like, when you think of a bicycle, like I think I thought of just like, oh, it's just a regular bicycle, like a 10-speed or something. The reality is like half the bikes today are these like electric things that are basically like mopeds. They don't even like feel like bicycles. You go way faster, you can go up hills, you can go much further distances. That right there is a wing. That was a wing bike, I think. I think it was definitely electric. And now you see these kinds of bikes so much more frequently, and the market is just so much bigger, right? So if you're a family, you could have a cargo bike. You have a big you know, kind of payload in the front. You have your long john, or you have a long tail, which can carry a bunch of kids in the back. You have your, what are they called? Panniers, or your big bags and stuff. So you can do grocery shopping pretty easily. You know, you never have to circle around for parking. You don't really have to even work that hard. You don't have to be in good shape to bike these things. You literally just need to sit on a seat. Like, the idea that you can't bike, but somehow you can drive is crazy to me. Because driving, just imagine the kind of physical, like, abilities that you need in order to be a good driver. A good driver is somebody who can, like, see. First of all, you have to be able to see everything. So there's an eyesight test. You have to, like, respond. You have to react to things. Now, you could say, oh, well, you know, reacting to things on a bike is totally different, and it's, like, much more dangerous on a bike. But that's not really true. You're going much, much slower on a bike. It's much easier to respond to things. Like, look at what I'm doing right now. There's nothing in front of me. I mean, there's a person in front of me, but, like, I'm barely doing anything. It's really relaxing, right? All the benefits, forget the benefits for a second. Just consider, like, just the physical ability that you need in order to drive. So in order to drive, you need to sit in a seat, look at something. You have to have your vision, you have to have hearing, you have to have response times. You can't really fall asleep, but a lot of people do anyway. And you need to have, like, a foot, more or less. And there are, you know, you can have, like, handicapped drivers who don't have feet or whatever, and they can use gas in different ways, but right, you need that. You also need money. You need a lot of money to drive. And then if you sit on a car, you need far less money, because if you sit, in a bike, even the top of the line electric bike is still significantly cheaper. Probably just straight up significantly cheaper just on day one. Just if you bought the whole thing up front. And cheaper over its lifetime, like with all the kind of, you know, when you incorporate gas and insurance and all that kind of stuff. Obviously you don't have gas or insurance or whatever, any of those kinds of things with a bike. Although you can have insurance, and you probably should if you're biking a fair amount. But there's no gas. And if you're an electric bike, then yeah, there's electricity costs, but it's like pennies, right? It's not gas. Oh man, here we go. Uphill. And so, like, it's crazy to me that it's like an older person could be like, oh, I can't, I can drive, but no way I can bike. I mean, so to bike, you need to be able to sit on a seat. You need to be able to have some balance, a little bit of balance, although there are tricycles and things where you really don't need any balance. You could have a recumbent bike where you don't need any balance. You're sitting down. Basically, you're sitting on a bike seat or a bucket or something, and you're pedaling. You could say, oh, I have no muscle. I can't. My feet have no, you know, my legs have no muscle. I can't do that. Well, good news. There's a billion electric bikes that are at your disposal. And if you've ever ridden one, you know that you really don't need any muscle to do anything. Half of them are throttle, which means that you literally just use your thumb. So it's actually less work to ride most of these e-bikes than it is to drive a car. And that's what's like crazy. Oh, you don't want to sit? You can stand. You can get a scooter. There's a million scooters that are out there. $1,100 will get you a scooter. $900. You can ride that to work. If you're going 2 miles or 3 miles, you might say, oh, well, you know, how am I going to do that in 20 degrees and, you know, 16 inches of snow? By the way, oh yeah, this is my third point from before. You shouldn't be driving in, you know, 18 inches of snow or whatever the hell argument that is. You shouldn't be driving in the snow. Literally every single time it snows, people get on the radio and the TV And the mayor's basically like beg drivers not to get in their cars, stay indoors. It's literally they beg you to do that, which is like funny to me, because you're like, okay, so on the worst possible snowstorms, rainstorms, anytime that it's like really inclement weather, their best advice is not to drive. Don't get in your car is their best advice. Isn't that insane? So eliminate all of those days from both drivers and cyclists, right? How's this guy doing? Cool. Two cyclists hit each other. Yeah, they can do some damage to each other, but it's so, just imagine two drivers, right, hitting each other. Head-on collisions are like about 1 billion times more deadly, right? So that's what I got. Yeah, the idea that like you're gonna be driving, like oh, I gotta go get my thing of milk now that it's snowing, you know, and visibility is like near zero, and there's a trillion cars that are all wrecked on the highway. I mean, we've all seen those pictures. That's when I should take out my car and go for a ride. Like, idiots. Like, you're not gonna bike, you're not gonna walk. You might walk if there's no cars on the road. It's probably the most dangerous thing is the cars and drivers. Yeah, it's awesome. So yeah, let's say you don't want to sit because sitting hurts you or whatever. Hey, get a scooter. You can stand. You can stand. There's no car that allows you to stand while operating it, right? So if you have back problems or something where like sitting is particularly painful, or sitting for long periods is painful, or sitting in a particular, in a particular way, like the way that a driver's seat, a car seat is designed, right? We've all had that, like back pain and crap when you're driving for too long. It's like you're not even doing anything and you have pain from doing nothing. You're sitting on your duff. Anyway, that's all I got for that. God, what a beautiful night. And I said that before, I will say it again. It's a gorgeous night. It's a great night to not be driving. Yes, this thing. This is yet another electric bike. Look at these things. This guy is biking, he's pedaling, but that thing right here, right in front of me, that passed me going 25 miles an hour or whatever, is, you know, pretty cool. Like, I feel like I'm seeing more and more of these things now. And like, it's great. It's great to see them. Again, cannot wait for City Bike to electrify its fleet. I like don't get what the holdup is. I mean, I know they're doing a lot. I know it's super expensive. I mean, what is it? It's like $1,000 a battery, right? And they want to do 4,000. That right there is, you know, $4 million bucks. Just for the batteries. Then installation is probably a ton, and then all the other crap that goes along with these bikes. Another calm night, calm water. These are scooters. Scooter, regular bike. Regular bike. This guy's got his little, what's it called? Roly-poly, his electric roly-poly. No, his electric skateboard. What are those called? I forgot what they're called. So here's like a crappy, terrible example. Look at no light. There's no light here. Can't see anybody. Can't see anything. There's lights above here that are off. They're probably supposed to be on. They're not. And so, like, what a terrible design. And yet there's a billion people that ride through here every day, every night, all the time. And then it's on me to, like, you know, start bothering and pestering like 311 for like 4 years straight before we can get some lights in there or something. And it's like, who the hell has the energy for this shit? You know? When you look at how much work the advocacy community does, the bike advocacy, the safe streets advocacy, all those people, and how much effort they put in, how much time they put in, nobody gets paid, right? It's like they're doing the accountability and the oversight and the reporting and the, you know, all this work that you would normally get paid to do this work. Like, if you had a badge, you were a traffic cop, you would be getting paid to write tickets. But instead, we have to do this and like beg for somebody to get a ticket. And like tell the police, like, hey, there's somebody doing something illegal over here, right? It's crazy to me. We waste so much of our energy on crap that should be done for us by our city. Like, take, for example, I requested a bike corral in front of our apartment building, our condo. And like, just take the whole thing, like the whole process. Like, you have to be a business. You have to formally request a bike corral. The way you request it is you literally go to their terrible website. You have no idea that you can request it. They don't really publicize these things very well. They're not like, hey, we installed 1,000 last year, we're gonna go for 2,000 next year. They're like, hey, yeah, the last one we installed was like 4 years ago. And they're like, yeah, there's 72 in all of New York City. You know, something like that. The way you do it is you fill out a lovely PDF form, which you then email to somebody, and you just like hope to get a response. You have no idea. Months go by. Maybe somebody responds, maybe somebody doesn't. Then, if you ping them enough times, they do respond. Now granted, the DOT is, the people that I've interacted with, been very nice, very professional, and like they're just part of this crappy system, you know? So it's not like it's their like fault, but this is like how the process works. It's so cruddy. And so you fill out this form, you hope they respond, then they maybe respond, then they like do a site inspection. And I don't know what's gonna happen next. Then the community board has to vote on it. And I'm like, I don't get it. Why does anybody have to request? Well, first of all, why do I have to be a business to request it? Like, the way it works is you're a business, like you're a coffee shop or a bar. You formally request this. The reason that a bar or some place of business needs to request this formally and fill out some form is because they're basically agreeing to do all the cleanup of the corral. Clean out debris, clean out the snow, clean out garbage and leaves and whatever else. And you're like, wait, I don't understand. Scratch your head. Why isn't the Department of Sanitation doing this? I don't know, but that's how it is. Great. So you have to like agree to do the cleanup because I guess it's taking a parking spot, which would otherwise be cleaned by a street sweeper. Which, by the way, we all know, like I've seen so many of these drivers don't move their cars. So these spots are like uncleaned for like months and months, you know, or they're cleaned very sporadically. Like, okay, that spot is open, that spot's not. Right in front of my school, my kids' school, tons of cars. I'm always there during street cleaning. None of the cars are moved. They're all placard, teacher, placard, whatever cars. So none of them are moved. So these areas are like literally never cleaned by the street sweeper. Okay, so back to the corral. So that's what you have to agree to. And then it takes months and months, and then the community board has to vote on it, and then they install it in like April. Now my question is, A, why can't anybody submit a request? Like, hey, I live on this street, I have a bike, I want a bike corral. Like, that's how it should work. I'm in the community, I want this, right? Why? I don't understand why all these other people who drive get automatic dibs to, you know, to everything, to all the curb space. Makes no sense to me, right? That's not equitable. And then if you sort of simplify it even further, and you're like, well, why should I even have to request this? It doesn't really make any sense, does it? I shouldn't even have to request it. The city should just be making parking deprioritized parking for bikes just automatically on every corner. They should say, okay, we've identified, just like how they did a city bike docks. They say, all right, we are putting in, hey, community board, we are going to put in a bike dock on every block. You tell us which part of the block or where you want it to go, right? But we're doing this. We're absolutely doing this. That would be how you get it done. Not like this nonsense where I'm like begging for one, then wait 7 months to get something maybe installed, you know? Cool. Well done. Parked in a bike lane, opening the door. It's like the car is in the door zone. Well, the car's in the bike lane. And then the door is opening up, so it's further eliminating space for cyclists. Like this guy, GEH 9400. Not even in the car. There's a cop in a bike lane. 5500, that cop. Oh, when cops park in the bike lane, what the hell are you gonna do? It's literally, I want to take those bikes and just burn them all when I hear that nonsense. These loud, obnoxious motorcycles. That's on the wrong side, but whatever. Oh, god damn it. Oh, this is shit. Forgot about that. Forgot about how awful this is. Oh, this guy. Dodge Charger. I think that's a Dodge Charger. really want my like automatic lookup device where it just tells you like Terminator style, like it's like beep boop boop, and it analyzes the like license plates and it tells you right away like this guy's trouble, like this guy right here. Yeah. I like looking up their plates, and when I'm like, I have a hunch that this person probably has 100 speeding tickets. I hate riding on the sidewalk like this, but it is the safest thing to do right now. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go. Oh, fun stuff. Oh, this guy in his like the loud moped. Oh no, it's just a shitty. It's one of these guys. One of these shitty gas, loud, whatever mobiles. I thought it was a guy on one of the bikes. It's like a gas-powered bike. It's very rare. There's like one guy that has one in this neighborhood or around in Harlem. I see him around. Can't miss him. He's very loud. Sorry, fuckers. See? This guy. You see? You see? This is what happens. This is what happens. So don't block the bike lane. Jeff, 6342. I know you. Juf. Everyone's in the bike lane today. Everyone's in the bike lane. This guy's in the bike lane. Yeah. You're in the bike lane.